Hello, everyone. Welcome to LOCKBEARD Random Live, number 63, LOCKBEARD YouTube War. It is Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022. YouTube just took down another one of my videos. That would be, um, that was, which episode was it? 50. Hold on just a second. Yeah, no, it's 49. LOCKBEARD Random Live, number 49. Fuel Canadians. They've taken it down, claiming again medical misinformation, blah blah blah, bullshit, and so on and so forth. It's gonna continue. They did not give me another strike, but they did take down another video. So, and there will surely be more until we somehow put the pressure on YouTube to put an end to this censorship. I don't know how we're going to do it. How do you protest? Because YouTube's basically functioning as a government over a piece of cyberspace, right? That we're all living in YouTube is a tyrannical government of this piece of cyberspace, and they need to be put in their place. Donald Fuller's here. Welcome. What's up, man? So that's what the thumbnail is all about. That's what and I don't know if anybody's got any ideas. What more can one do when you're a small channel? You can't just you can't just no one's gonna offer a bunch of money to go over to Spotify, right? And or even Rumble. Now I'm on Rumble. All of my episodes up to Saturday are on Rumble. This last Saturday, as soon as the suspension is over in 2 weeks, all of the when I upload the from, because for everyone that's watching in the future on the normal LOCKBEARD channel or on Rumble or Odyssey or BitChute or wherever you're seeing this, this episode is coming out on my alternate channel on YouTube called Achaeos Salisbury, aka LOCKBEARD. And so what's going on right now, because my normal LOCKBEARD channel is suspended on YouTube, and I'm going to have to upload all of these episodes to that channel after the suspension's over, and then they will be automatically synced up with Rumble, Odyssey, and BitChute at that time. Donald says they're really auditing you. Can you say government watch list? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been on one for years. 4 years. Yeah. Is Rumble set up like YouTube? Well, it's got a long way to go before it gets to be anything like YouTube. I mean, there's videos, there's channels and stuff like that. It's to some extent, yeah, but if you're not on Rumble yet, look in the descriptions of my most recent videos, and there's a referral link in the description, down towards the bottom of the description of the video. If you use that, there's there's helps me out. Um, uh, they they don't touch your earnings if you start producing a channel over on Rumble. They don't mess with your earnings at all. But Rumble will give me a 5% commission, so that'll help the channel well, on Rumble and elsewhere. Um, but yeah, and there's a lot of content over there. Rumble's the one that offered Joe Rogan $100 million to come over there. So Rumble's coming along, but they got a lot of work to do to get the site to be to be better. A lot of things got to be more like what YouTube's got going on, and so they got a lot of work to do. But my channel is pretty much fully functional on Rumble now. Mostly functional on BitChute and Odyssey. I've been trying to talk to these guys about fixing the issues I'm having with them, but it's going to be. I'm sure they'll improve as time goes on, but I am not at the moment. I'm not putting too much time into trying to fix it myself manually because it would take so much time, and I really need to put time into some other things right now. I'm looking into what my options are to get set up to do mobile live streaming, because I'm going to need to get that set up, get ready for that really, really quick if I go down to the protests in DC. At this point, I don't know for sure if I'm going to do that. I really need the funding to come in for that, and it needs to be quite a bit's needed to make that work. Um, so, Donald says, "Who's lurking?" Oh, I don't know. No idea. um, I think it's just when it says two watching, it's counting you and me because I'm uh, on the YouTube page for this live stream right now, Donald. So that's probably it. Not getting a lot of people in the middle of the day, but whatever. People can watch it on the replay if they want. Um, Brandy's there. There she is. I didn't see you in the participants list. You got a problem, bro? I don't think he's got a problem, Brandy. Unless you're government. Are you government? Welcome to the chat, Brandy. Donald says it said one for a bit. Yeah, Donald ain't gonna mess with you, Brandy. He don't want a piece of that. So yeah, that makes a total of 4 live streams YouTube has deleted on me, which they can go right ahead. It's backed up elsewhere, and then all my videos end up over on Rumble and BitChute and Odyssey. YouTube may kill me over here, but they're not going to stop me in these other places. Still says one on your end. Yeah, you really can't trust the numbers on that stupid thing. YouTube's jacking with it. They keep shaving off a few subscribers here and there, and so on and so forth. Why are they shaving off views? Like, I haven't been paying attention to the views. I got past the 5,000 goal that would allow me to be monetized. My problem is subscriber numbers for monetization. But Squatching Cowboy said that what his problem. He has the subscribers, but he can't seem to get the view hours up. And he saw like where some of his hours disappeared. Well, how can your hours disappear? Once you got them, you should have them, right? Why is YouTube trying to censor him? I mean, I don't know if he said anything political over there, but maybe, or maybe they're trying to censor people that are on the right track about something when it comes to Bigfoot. Maybe they don't like people talking about Bigfoot who aren't going down the crazy woo road with stuff and keeping it logical. Maybe they don't like that. I don't know. I mean, because YouTube's a puppet for the government, right? YouTube isn't doing this because they want to like lose profit, because that's what they're doing. They're losing profit by doing this. But this is totally political, and they definitely don't want me saying the stuff that I'm saying. But I'm just trying to figure out what the hell they messing with Squatching Cowboy for. Brandy says, I'm just playing with Donald. He knows. Donald says, wasn't sure if it were a YouTube operative. Oh, I'm sure YouTube can watch everything without it showing up on the little number of viewers thing. Brandy says, I can't disclose that information. Doesn't it tell you in YouTube Studio who has unsubbed your channel? If it does, I don't know how to see that. Is there a way to see that? Because I have no idea. It took me 2 days to figure out how to get, because I'd accidentally blocked Miss Space Cake a couple weeks back, I guess, and I could not figure out how to undo that. It took me a couple days to, of course, I didn't spend 2 days straight, but it was a couple days before I managed to figure out what I needed to do to undo blocking someone like that. But I don't know. I can looking at YouTube Studio. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to do that. I don't know. Derek McManus is here. Welcome. How's it going, man? So yeah, I don't know. How to see that, or I don't even know how to see like is there a way to even see who is subscribed? I don't know. I mean, it gives me information about them, like locations and gender, that kind of stuff. But as far as a list of people, shoot, I don't know. No idea. Penny says there's definitely a way. Yes, I've seen it in reference to my shared channel. Well, maybe I should try to figure that out. Randy says, I'll have to figure it out again when I have a minute. Yeah. Donald says, hey, hi, Derek. Was wondering if you were okay. Saw one chat from you and you disappeared all night. What, last night on Mogs or Squatch Talk or something? So trucks are rolling in the United States. They're heading towards DC. I guess the protest is coming. Like I said, I would like to be rolling that way and getting ready to make sure people see what's actually happening, because the media is gonna fucking lie. They're gonna lie. like they've been lying about everything else. Once they do start saying things, they may try to ignore it to some extent. They're definitely trying to distract us with this Ukraine stuff. Um, that's for people here. That's pretty much just a distraction. At least that's what it's being used for. Russia may have their own motives. No doubt they do. But ultimately, these governments are all working for the corporations. They're all working for the same people, right? So, they put in a little call to Russia and say, "Hey, we need you to do some saber rattling because we need some news to distract people with. We need to scare people." That's how they mess with you and manipulate you to a large extent is just by scaring you with something. Um, like the thing that I'm getting these medical misinformation uh, uh, strikes. Well, I've gotten one strike, but two videos down here recently because of that. So they claim. I don't know how it is when there's actually legit doctors out there saying it's true. They say in the message, we're trying to protect people from blah blah blah, and we go along with the World Health Organization, which everybody knows they're full of shit, right? They lied to make this thing happen, to make this worldwide psychological terror attack work. So, Mr. Hughes here, welcome. Uh, Derek says, Donald Fuller, I'm fine, thank you. Went to bed early last night. Um, Donald says, "Oh, your show. He left the first chat and disappeared." Oh, on my show. Yeah. Well, it's a little later for him than it is for us in the United States. Like right now, it should be uh, somewhere around 7:48, almost 8 o'clock, I think, for him. Might be an hour off on that. Donald says, "Well, I'm glad Derek been enough with Leon being in the AR. Yeah, yeah. ICU. You mean?" Sandra's here. Welcome. She says hello to everybody. So yeah, I don't know. Still hoping to see some funding enough come along that I can roll out and go go film this stuff. This is going to go a whole lot. See, because in Canada, that protest was going on for a while before they like come in there and start putting up the fences and bringing in those. Well, they say they were cops. I think they were military, possibly even the UN troops that came in there pretending to be cops in riot gear. At any rate, it was well after it started before they started doing all that stuff. Before they started like coming in there to crack down like that. They had cops around, but see, the U.S. is preemptively before these people have even arrived. It's like they're already assuming they're going to do something illegal. Nothing illegal's been done yet. But they're not even there. I mean, I think some people may be in D.C. already. I'm not sure, but before anyone had a chance to do anything that would justify some kind of militant response, we have National Guard activated. I should tell you everything you need to know about how the U.S. plans to treat this, and they're probably going to be a lot worse than what Canada did. This is going to be a freaking fiasco, man. Freaking fiasco. So we need as many people there with cameras, um, documenting the evil that is about to unfold from our domestic terrorist occupation government, because that's what they are. They're not the legit government. They haven't been for a long time. They've done so much illegal, violated our rights in so many ways. They have been terrorists of the world, coming up with excuses to start war with one people after another, blowing crap up, even blowing up children, you know, false flag attacks on our own nation. They've been doing this shit for a long time. They've murdered our own people. Man, we need that asteroid to hit the planet, man. I don't know what else can fix this. Brandy says, I have to go back to lurker mode. Gotta drive. Take care, y'all. Thanks, Brandy, for dropping in. We'll see you later. Donald says, we need to get you there. Yeah. I have mixed feelings about that because it's probably, it may not be the smartest move to go. Because who knows what they're going to do. The Canadian riot police, whatever their origin was. I mean, they trampled people with a horse. They hit them with pepper spray. They arrested a bunch of them. They froze their bank accounts. They stole their money. They stole their money right out of GoFundMe, or tried to steal it. They probably got away with a lot of it. I mean, all this shit, GoFundMe that funds BLM terrorists without blinking an eye, uh, So, I don't know. I mean, I think I would tell the truckers that are heading down there and the processors that are going down there, be very, very careful about what you do. Don't block any roads. That's what BLM terrorists do. Remember, we were having them running out in the roads and blocking traffic, and occasionally some of them were getting run over because you shouldn't block roads, and that's correct. You should not block roads. There were some trucks parked in the road, but they were leaving lanes open so emergency vehicles and people could get through. It was the police that blocked the roads in Canada, the so-called police. I don't know. I think they are planning. They already know what they're going to do. They're going to shoot some people in DC. The government's going to kill people. Can't say that 100%, but it just feels like it's going to be a lot worse situation than what Canada had. Mr. Lee's here. Welcome. Saying hi to everybody. Donald says, need better than mainstream media. Yeah. And I can't afford to go get a proper, it'd be thousands of dollars to get a proper mobile live streaming rig, So I'll have to put something together with my Android phone and do it that way. But it's getting down to the wire, so I don't know. I mean, I've been trying to get my intent out there and known as wherever I can, and hopefully someone that can spare the funds can fund this whole damn thing. I need to be able to get there. I don't feel like it would be safe to try and park somewhat, because around here I can park places, and as long as like I don't stay in town around here. I stay out at the farm, but if I didn't have anywhere to go, I could park at Walmart and no one's going to mess with me. This place isn't crime ridden cesspool like DC is. Um, so I'll have to get a safe place to be. I mean, probably have to get a hotel room is what I'll probably have to do. I don't know if an RV park would be feasible, or if there would even be one close enough to where so I could walk to the to where the protest is at. Um, it's gonna be it's gonna be it'd be kind of a thing, kind of an issue to do this. Donald says reminds me of East and West Berlin in Ottawa. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy, man. Uncle Bone says hello, Achaeos Salisbury, aka Lockbeard. Welcome, Uncle Bones. DC is supposed to be a lot like London. Yeah, man. For whatever reason, the area around our nation's Capitol building is just a lot of it's just a complete shithole. Why it turned out that, I mean, I don't know. It's like the government attracts bullshit. It attracts crime. I mean, it's like it crime feels at home right there. And it's kind of the same in a lot of our cities too. Like you'll be in the crappiest neighborhood, even in smaller towns sometimes. The crappiest neighborhood is the neighborhood, some of it anyway, is right there around the police station, right there around the courthouse and stuff like that. It's like it's what is this phenomenon? uh, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, so Mr. Lee says London is such a shithole. Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, just share the channel anywhere you can. Um, you know, uh, gotta fight YouTube. YouTube is trying to suppress this channel harder than ever. They don't want the truth spoken of, and even if I'm wrong on some stuff, I mean, the freedom to express yourself, and and I allow, people come in here and disagree with my ass all the time. You know, um, it's like someone brought up Gab the other day. I'm on Gab, but I haven't used it. I have a account there, but I just haven't used it. It doesn't attract me. I never liked Twitter either, so that's why part of the reason why shutting off my Twitter account was not like a big sacrifice or anything. It's just I just did it just didn't appeal to me, and Gab is kind of the same way. It doesn't appeal to me much, but um, people can say some real screwed up things on Gab. That they can't get away with elsewhere. Like I'm hearing that even Trump's new truth thing, or whatever he's calling his new social media, is supposed to be a Twitter alternative, is censoring people for saying certain things. Some's kind of whacked out things, um, but Joe Rogan, like he was talking about Gab at some point in I don't know what episode or anything like that. It's been a while back, I guess. But anyway, he's talking about it, and he was talking about some of the craziest things. People, some people are saying some pretty whacked out things. But he said, uh, how do you put it? It was a real good way to put it. I thought the best way to combat bad ideas is not. Um, is not canceling them or censoring them. The best way to combat bad ideas is with better ideas. So, you just have free communication and people will figure it out that, at least the ones that matter. A lot of people are going to gravitate towards bad ideas no matter what you do. But censoring it doesn't do anything because it's like saying, oh, you can't have this. And now people want it and they'll find it elsewhere, whether it's good or bad. If it's prohibition all over again. told people they couldn't have alcohol. Well, they still got it. It was just black market alcohol. Donald says, we went to Vermont Street in the Capitol. It's nothing like Vermont. Hood, big time. Yes. Yeah. It's a rough area. Mr. Lee says, I see you, Brandy. Chessboard says, hello, Lockbeard, Knucklebones, and everybody else. Welcome, Chessboard. So yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll be going or not. It just depends on funding. So it's going down. I think it's going to be a worse situation than what we saw in Canada. So there's this dude. He's claiming that he was the one that hacked Gibson Go. Anyway, over on the quartering, he talked about this, so I figured I'd just show a clip from his show where he's showing the video of this guy taking credit for hacking all this stuff, and the dude is freaking nuts, man. So yeah, let's check this out.
You know, I don't want to meme it.
Nothing scares me. Nothing. Yes, I doxed the truckers. I did it. It was me. I hacked Give, Send, Go, baby. And I do it again. I do it 100 times. I did it. I did it. Come at me. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to me, huh? I hacked Epic Hosting! I hacked Parler! I hacked Gab! I hacked Truth Social! I hacked Go! Give, Send, Go! I don't care!
The guy is unhinged, but also has worked for the Canadian government. I think that's pretty interesting. CSIS uses the super soldiers to dox and honeypot Freedom Convoy. I don't know if I'd be so cavalier, bro. Like, I wouldn't be messing with truckers. They'll show up at your house and erase you. I wouldn't be so cavalier. I would assume that this guy is mentally ill. Very good at hacking, but mentally ill. With the Freedom Convoy under pressure, CSIS used super soldiers to dox and honeypot Freedom Convoy without justification. The CSIS, the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, has contracted this duty out to the hacker, aka whatever, a known federal asset. He has self-admitted history of working with various police and intelligence services, from the RCMP to the FBI to French quote authorities to Interpol. He also began targeting the Freedom Convoy immediately after the Freedom Convoy assets got seized and the banks were frozen, indicating active coordination. According to the -dash report. Didn't we know that this was all run?
My name is Aubrey Connell, aka Cortana. I'm a hacker, security researcher, and founder of the Hacktivist Collective Anonymous. Nice to meet you.
It's funny when he tries to...
Now, communism, bring me fully automated luxury gay space communism.
What? A lot of people seem to associate him with somebody that spends time on the playground. I don't know if there's something to that.
Yeah. Messed up stuff. Hopefully y'all could hear that just fine. What a whack job this guy is. Mr. Lee says, I have to get away from London. I'm going to see a place tomorrow. Cheap, looks a bit rough, but I can fix it up. Does it have a roof on it, Mr. Lee? Donald says I can donate as of the beginning of the month. Man, hey, don't do it if you can't afford. You know what I mean? Like the reality is probably not going to be enough come in to do this. So you know what I mean? I needed like a rich person to take interest or something. But thanks for the help if you do, and or for the support if you don't. Either way, man. Sandra says, Mr. Lee, you going to be alone? Imagine he have his girlfriend with him. Derek says the really scary thing is that individual has a child. Mr. Lee says headbutt. Mr. Lee says, no, Sandra, my girlfriend always with me and my 2 dogs. Sandra says, oh, okay, good luck in finding a place that you like. Donald says to Mr. Lee, I was going to ask you if Daniela was your other half. Oh, man, I hope not. Chessboard says, did you, Lockbeard, did you see that SOB trader, Representative Ruben Gallego? I guess I'm not familiar with that person. Is advocating that USA truck protesters be seized and redistributed. That USA truck protesters be seized and redistributed. I guess not. Mean like their assets seized, or I mean, I'm not sure what that means. Mr. Lee says, Donald, no, Daniela is cool though. Uncle Bone says, Paige, she'll my guess. Paige, she'll my guess. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This guy says supposedly he's a known asset on one hand, but on the other hand, why the hell is he telling everybody? Like, you shouldn't tell everybody if you are. That's insanely stupid. Unless he just couldn't help himself. He's so freaking psycho that, and he wants credit for some reason. But he needs to go to jail. He's done something pretty messed up. Donald says, yeah, nothing wrong with Daniela, but I don't like her boss. I don't like her or her boss. I'm sorry, man. Sandra says, Mr. Lee, I'm looking for a 4-bedroom home for myself and my daughter's family. She wants me to live with them because she worries about me, so I'm going to buy a house. Oh, that's a good situation. You have your that way you can see your grandkids all the time, and your daughter, and if there's someone around to help you with stuff if you need all the time, and so it's like people used to live, multiple generations under one roof. There's nothing wrong with that. Chessboard says, take their assets. I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how they're responding. These people haven't done anything wrong other than decide to protest. They haven't done anything wrong. The people in Canada, at least they managed to get on site and maybe messed up on a thing or two. Maybe the truck shouldn't have been, were parked in places they shouldn't have been in some cases. But But this hasn't even started yet, and people are already wanting to shut them down, take their assets. Take their assets? What in the hell? This just tells us a lot. This tells us that they have decided that we are uh, criminals for having a political position. Well, it's not even. It really shouldn't even be political. This is freedom. This is our right to choose what goes into our bodies, and they want us to all bend over and take a shot, take an anal swab and cover our faces. You know, they want to make it's a way they want to make us submit, and you know these people are evil. They aren't real Americans anymore, if they ever were. They want to oppress liberty, and that's just not the American way. Whether they have lied about the entire thing from the beginning or not, it doesn't matter. We have a right to choose. These are the people that would used to say, the woman's right to choose with abortion, but now you don't have a right to choose what happens to your body now. So, I mean, that just reveals that nothing that they ever stand for had to do with what they were claiming. It has to do with trying to make you do what they tell you to do. They want to be able to come up with whatever ridiculously stupid thing and force you to do it. You know, come up with freaking 100 different gender pronouns and force you to use the right one. You know, there's been a lot of pushback against that because we ain't got time to stop and ask you. Before I start speaking to you, could you please let me know what pronouns you prefer so that I don't say something wrong? No, screw you. I ain't saying there nothing I say is wrong. I'll say whatever the hell I want. I ain't got time for this nutsoid bullshit. These people are straight up psycho and criminals of their own because they're trying to take our liberty. They're trying to take our liberty, and man, and they'll keep trying. They'll keep trying. Look, people, every time this happens in any society, someone's trying to take your liberty. They will keep trying and keep trying until the situation turns violent. And they're the ones that turn violent first. The BLM protests and all that shit. The you know it turns violent, and the violence will continue until um, these bitch ass psychos are knocked out and gone. You know, whatever form that takes. They will not stop until they get spanked. So they're going to keep pushing until there's a fight. There's just no way around it. And the government wants that fight to happen. And from that perspective, they probably wanted this guy to admit this and post that video. They probably wanted him because he knew it was gonna piss off the other side. Mr. Lee says, Sandra, that's a good idea. You shouldn't be alone. I worry about you too. Uncle Bone says, chessboard code monkey is running for office in Arizona. Ron Watkins. The Enlightened Mank says, watch a video today of the trucker who is the leader of the Canadian trucker protest, and he does a Freemason triangle on his jumper. that has a 33 showing his loyalty to Freemasonry. Well, that gets into a whole issue that I just don't think has been proven. Mank, I know a lot of people make claims about the Freemasons, but I'm not jumping on that bandwagon without some real proof. But sure, there may be a possibility that the leaders in this case were part of a setup. Sure, So I mean, who knows? But need evidence of that. Mr. Lee says, "I have a big family, Sandra. It can be a pain at times, all the fighting, but at least my back is covered." Mr. Lee says, "Speak, Lockbeard." I'm a speaking man. Sandra says, "Yes, it is time. I just want my own space, but that is okay. Dang, prices are so high." Yeah. Well, maybe they can maybe get a place that kind of has like like a semi-separate but attached, apartment or something going on. So you're kind of got your own space, but it's still the same structure. Chessboard says the tree is begging for water. Yeah, the tree of liberty. The tree of liberty. Mank says Elon Musk has AI self-driving trucks, meaning the government planned this protest event to use their AI trucks and 5G. AI drones in the world will be like futuristic Demolition Man and Running Man films. Possible. I think it's very possible they already have a whole bunch of AI trucks ready to roll. Chessboard says, Mr. Lee, I'll be 75 in a couple months and I am willing to go. Mr. Lee says, Mank Running Man was a cool movie. Sanders says to Mr. Lee, I think you will be happier. Mr. Lee says to Sandra, I'm hoping London, I don't like these days, or I'm hoping London, I don't like these days. No. Mank says to Mr. Lee, Running Man credits say the future of the world. Yeah. Probably some really bad times coming. And you got to wonder, how are we going to get through it? If enough people stand up, can we keep our liberty, or is it going to be taken away? Because, I mean, this is what we're seeing happening. It's definitely, they're going to be taking it away. The U.S. government is taking actions right now, treating this protest as if it's some kind of insurrection again before anyone has done anything remotely that can be claimed to be a crime. I mean, nothing's happened. The truckers are just going to protest and they're stopping work. And if anyone suggests that that is somehow a terroristic act, that person wants to enslave the truckers. Get back to work, slaves. Do as you're told. You need to bring our products to the places we want them to be. Forcing people to work is slavery. The truckers do not have to work. Nobody does. So hopefully we see people, truckers and non-truckers of all kinds of jobs. Just everybody drop everything and stop. Just stop. These far leftists, man, they're not worker people. they don't work. They sit around and draw a check half the time. See, they depend on us working too, and a lot of them maybe don't realize it, but some of them do. They know, like the people that are working are the ones paying the taxes, and the taxes is what pays them their little checks they get for this thing or that or whatever, where they don't have to work. And then they can go buy stuff without working, but they can't buy that stuff if it's not on the shelf, and it's not going to be on the shelf if the truckers aren't running, right? So they're pissed off, man. They want to enslave, the far left wants to enslave these truckers back into work. So hopefully they got the wherewithal to stand their ground peacefully without breaking any laws, but just don't work. That's not breaking any law. Refusing to work, refusing to be a slave to this system is not a crime. Sandra says, yes, Lockbeard, I have looked at a couple of mother-in-law rooms and homes. Cool. Yep, that's probably what you need. Mr. Lee says, ideally, I would like to live in Jamaica, but you know, free. Yeah. Uncle Bone says, you have no suntan lotion, Mr. Lee. Yeah. Mr. Lee has no suntan lotion. Chessboard says to Mr. Lee, Jamaica, yeah, follow orders now. Mr. Lee says, Uncle Bones, my bald head would get burned up. True. Well, wear you a little hat. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. So yeah, YouTube is putting the pressure on me. They don't want me. They don't want me saying certain stuff, and they're gonna keep taking down videos, I guess. Because if they took those two, I bet they'll take some more. You know. So I expect that they will take some more. And so we just got to keep on going, you know. You know, just keep trying to get more subscribers, keep trying to get likes on the videos. You know, they can only fight that so much. And so yeah. And share the channel, man. Share the channel. Because I'm sure they aren't just putting my channel anywhere where people can see it, other than the people that are already subscribed. They're not just going to throw it random up on the homepage of anybody. So going to Lockbeard channel content page here. Which one? Oh, they put it down. They put it at the end of the list when they delete it. Well, where is it? Yeah, there we go. There's the 4 that have been deleted so far. So, and all those are over on Rumble. Mr. Lee says, chessboard not with machete in my hand. Share my stuff. Come share my stuff, says chessboard to Mr. Lee. Sanders says, Mr. Lee, Jamaica could maybe be a goal for the future. Enlightened Mank says, the AI God will use the D-Wave AI super quantum computer. Geordie Rose, the creator of this machine, he says it is opening portals with the machine to dimensions, bringing demons to our world. Wow, that's out there, Mr. Mank. That's way out there. Mr. Lee says, Sanders sounds good, doesn't it? Brandy says you need 500 subs, then you can utilize your community tab. Yeah, it'd be helpful to be able to use the community tab. Chessboard says, Mank, don't believe everything you read. Yeah, that's some whacked out stuff, Mank. You might want to reel it in a little bit. AI god, machines, opening portals, demons from other dimensions. Yeah, you start talking that kind of stuff, you're getting into some whacked out stuff. It's just claims that somebody's making, and you have no proof of it. So I would avoid stuff like that, man. Before you start going down a rabbit hole, actually confirm it, like outside of YouTube. You know, learn the real science. You know, so because people can say, they can give you a bunch of mumbo jumbo and make anything sound legit, man. Mank says the chessboard. Jordy Rose has uploaded his videos saying this on YouTube. Watch them. How did we know that was on YouTube? How did we know? There's a lot of good information on YouTube, man. But then there are those channels spreading some whacked out crap. And they're good salesmen that make it sound legit to people who have their minds so open that their brain could fall out. You've heard that saying, right? Yeah, you need to put a little filter on there. Say, look, okay, this is some whacked out stuff. The guy provides no actual proof of anything. This doesn't even make logical sense in the real world. And then like get away from that crazy stuff, man. Mr. Lee says you will get there though, Lockbeard every day. Well, if I get there, my goal would be to get out there and live stream as long as my battery life will allow me, and then go recharge and get back out there probably, and maybe get out two times a day and do I don't know, 3, 4, 5 hours just documenting, man, just documenting what's really going on out there. So yeah, it definitely would be every day if I get to DC. If not, I'll be here doing this. I'll just catch the next revolution. Derek says, gotta go. See you later, folks. See you later, Derek. Thanks for coming, man. Chessboard says, the enlightened Mank, learn to separate the wheat from the chaff. Yeah. Brandy says, take care, Derek. Mr. Lee says, I told you some of your streams are blocked in England, Lockbeard. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. The England's a little tougher on free speech. So I don't know if there's a way for people in England to see them anyway. I mean, I don't know if Rumble allows that kind of blocking. So have you seen if you can see those blocked ones over on Rumble or Odyssey? Because that may be a way to see them. See you, Derek McManus. Later, Derek. Mank says, make a video show of Geordie Rose and his videos claiming the D-Wave machine capabilities of opening portals and demons. He is a rich scientist who works for the elites and the governments. Again, Mank, he's claiming this. Why would he be allowed to reveal this information on YouTube? If he works for the elites and he's developing this crazy technology for them, he would no doubt be unknown to us entirely, kept totally secret, and certainly not allowed to post on YouTube. See, that's how you can kind of sort this guy out. He's claiming he's working for him, and and yet they let him reveal all their secrets on YouTube? I don't think so. YouTube's censoring me for mentioning the wrong medication. You know what I mean? They're censoring me for I didn't even say the word or saying what I think about the pandemic. They're censoring me for stupid little crap like that. This story you're talking about here sounds like something so crazy. I mean, so top secret that there's no way in hell they would let his channel exist. So why are you buying into it, man? Come on, man. It's just a channel making a bunch of claims, and he's got you sucked into his ridiculous claims, man. Keep it grounded. Keep grounded, man. In more ways than one. Keep grounded. Mr. Lee says, I will check it, Lockbeard. Okay, man. Chessboard says, Mank, you work for the elites and government and don't know it. Mr. Lee says, did you check your trail camera footage yet, Lockbeard? Yeah, I was hoping to yesterday, and I didn't get out there. It's a little bit out of the way, and I'm certainly not going to get out there today. If I was better set up with the stuff I need, I would get out there more. But it's just, like, and the camera isn't hidden as well as what my plan is to do eventually. My plan, I believe I could hide the camera without being seen and in a place, but I gotta find an appropriate location where it won't be easily detected, at least if detected at all. It's kind of hidden now, but anyone or anything could have seen me put it there, really. So kind of any successful pictures of any intelligent upright walking things in the woods. I mean, it would, if I got anything on there, it would hinge on them simply not being in that area when I put it there. So they might accidentally wander into view of the camera. But what sucks is you never know if they're around. They were watching me the whole time, possibly. I know because when one of the dogs was following me in, and he was following me and following me and following me, and then he stopped, and he just stood there, and I'd walked on maybe 30 feet. He was 30 feet behind me and just standing there looking at me like, dude, where do you think you're going? You don't need to go back there. And I had to coax him to keep coming. He didn't want to go. I don't know why. He didn't want to go. So I don't know. And of course, right now, we're getting the temperatures dropped. We're down in the mid-teens, I think. And sleet started falling, so we got a whiteout situation right now. It's so bright out there, but yeah, the ground is covered in sleet. So, in this kind of stuff, basically out in those woods, if you're walking out there, you can be heard a long ways away because you got this crunchy stuff on top of leaves, basically. So you can't walk in there quietly. It's just not going to happen. Mank says, study. I already saw that. Well, I didn't see that one, I guess. Side is real or BS. Other truth channels say it's linked the black goo juice. Yeah, again, black goo juice, man. What are you talking about? Icon's here. Welcome. Welcome to the chat, Icon. Let's see. Yeah, very, very possible. It's not. Well, I guess you could say it's on tree. It's not strapped to a tree though. There was a multi-branched tree and some dead branches kind of leaning on that about 2 feet from the ground. It branches out in several directions, and there's some dead branches laying up on it. So there's kind of this in the crotch of this tree. There's kind of a cavity almost there that the camera is sitting in. It's not a cavity in the tree, but it's surrounded by stuff, by branches, living and dead branches. So it's like normally when people strap a trail cam to a tree, well, if you're walking from the opposite direction, you can see that strap on that tree trunk just fine. No one's going to see this camera unless they walk right in front of it, and they're not going to know it's there unless they saw me put it there, or they walk right in front of it and then they spot it. Because you can't cover the front of the camera because you're covering your sensor and your lens and stuff like that, so that's an issue. Gray Poupon. Light and Mank says maybe D-Wave machine is linked to CERN because CERN was or is the internet. I'm sure if you study the origins of the web and CERN, man, I don't know. Hey, you're kind of getting down those crazy conspiracies. Don't get lost out there, man. Find some kind of something you can verify personally on some of this stuff, man, because you going that far down wackadoodle land. you need to find some evidence. And even if you were absolutely like you were psychic and you trusted this dude and he really believed what he was saying, you still gotta wonder, okay, maybe he didn't know what he was actually seeing, because people say, "Oh, I know what I saw." And, well, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't know what you saw. Um, Mr. Lee, I guess Mr. Lee checks out Peter Kane's live stream sometimes, and I saw another live stream. Mr. Lee, I didn't see you there. He was inside and he was talking, and somebody brought up Bob Lazar, and he's like, I don't know, and my point is that the government brings in some uninitiated person. Let's say that that part of the story is true. They brought him in to work on some stuff, and he saw some things that made him think. Um, he saw some, various vessels, right? According to him, he saw some different ships, and I guess he saw like an alien body or some shit. Anyway, so what? Why would the government like? They could easily like keep some of that stuff behind closed doors. You know what I mean? They would. So if he saw an alien body, they wanted him to see the alien body. So let's say they were going to have him try to reverse engineer these ships, right? But they didn't want him to know. They wanted to confuse him as to the origin of the ship. So they make up this fake alien body, leave it where he can see it. So to make sure that he thinks these are alien ships, when in reality they may have been, ships left over from the ancient civilization that I talk about sometimes here. I need to figure out what an appropriate name for it is. Um, I don't know that anyone really truly knows what they called what they called the Earth, for that matter, back then. They probably had a different word for the Earth, or what they called their civilization. But anyway, these ships could be left over from that ancient civilization. So they're straight up human built ships, but they're from an ancient advanced civilization, and our government was trying to figure out how they work. And they kind of had to bring in some people that aren't really in their inner circle, some smart guys who are they just need the brain power. But so in order to keep them confused as to what they were dealing with, they create this fake alien body for them to see when they come in. Again, they don't have to let them see the damn body. They didn't have to do that. So that's a red flag for me about his story. Like, he's not working on the alien bodies. There's no reason to leave one laying somewhere where he can see it. I mean, if I'm remembering his account correctly, it seems like I remember he actually saw something that looked like an alien body. So there's just some red flags there. I don't know. Freaking Bob Lazar, man. Icon says, good afternoon. How are you holding up, Uncle Bones? Chessboard says to Icon, thanks, brother. I had to use mayo on my sandwich. Hey, sometimes you gotta use mayo on your sandwich, man. Brian Chu Go Hiking's here. He says, hello, Lockbeard, and all my chat friends jogging and listening, so I won't be answering hellos. LOL. It's in the 60s in February in the Northeast. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice, but looks like winter's decided to, you know, flex its muscles a little bit again down here, because we had a couple days that were really nice, pretty nice, not too cold, but now it's in the teens. However, it looks like, according to the weather forecast, it's like 16 degrees right now. Let me refresh this. It's supposed to be 19 or so, but no, it's still going down. It's 15 degrees. But it's supposed to. I mean, it's supposed to start going up, but it's already lower than what the original forecast was. So, according to them, it's supposed to start going up till about 6 and hit 23. I really doubt it's going to do that now. 23 Fahrenheit for Mr. Lee. I don't know. I don't know exactly what that translates to in Celsius. It's a negative temperature though, but in Celsius. And then drop back down to 21 in the next few hours till about 10 o'clock, and then start slowly easing up a little bit overnight, which is unusual. Usually it drops in the night and then it starts coming back again coming back up again in the morning when the sun comes up. But so we must be kind of between the fronts, some warm air trying to come up. Like the weather, this cold, icy weather was blowing in from the southwest. So, and that's probably why we got this little bit warmer air with moisture in it hitting the colder air. But anyway, it's supposed to start kind of rising up throughout the night, just a little bit, and then be high of 30 degrees tomorrow. So it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold for a little bit, I guess. Yeah, I'd like to have some 60s. That'd be nice. So hopefully I can get back to the farm just fine. I mean, this is like some sleet is what we got. There was a little bit of snow mixed in part of the time, but it's sleet. So it's kind of like, it ought to be not too bad. It's like sand made from water, right? So it's got a little bit of traction to it. Mr. E says, your beard frozen to the side of the van yet in the morning, Lockbeard? No, it's not long enough to fall up against the side of the van or anything. I'd be glad to get it back though. Man, it's going to take a long time. I had to try. I had to take that road. I had to try. I wasn't anticipating. I had no idea I was going to have that much of a problem being up on those towers. I just could not have foreseen it. Like every so often, I get a whiff of a smell that somehow reminds me of the job, and it just kind of brings up some anxiety or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm still getting used to using that word anxiety, right? It's not something I really, yeah. Anyway, I had to get out, which is unfortunate. It was a real good income, and I was back in my field. So, but right now, like, I'm poking around a little bit for jobs, but I'm trying to put as much time into the channel as I can, and hopefully, something comes of it, and then of course with the protest stuff going on, it makes me want to keep my time freed up for that. Anyway, so if I start a new job, like, even if I don't go to DC, I can't be on YouTube every day. You can go to work, you bust your ass, you come back, you get a shower, be lucky if I get a workout in, and go to sleep, man. Maybe watch some YouTube, but doing a live stream, man. Yeah. If I get another full-time job, I won't be doing live streams every day. Icon says to Brian, good afternoon, safe journey to you. Yep. Mank says black goo is the graphene oxide juice. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Stick with that. Like look at some actual science about that graphene oxide. It'd be interesting to see. Like maybe you go and you tell the doctor you want to get your vax. Damn it, I said the word. Anyway, and he comes in the room and Maybe he sets it down on a table to put his rubber gloves on, and then you grab it and run. So, mine, I'm out of here. And hope they can't get security to, or maybe you stand up with you between him and the juice and say, "Hey, man, I really got a bathroom. Can I step out and go to the bathroom real quick?" And then kind of grab it without him notice, hoping he don't notice, so you can get out of the building with a sample of this stuff and take it to someone to analyze. I don't know if that kind of, 007 operation needs to happen to get samples to look at, but then you could prove it to yourself, right? I don't know if you'd be able to get your hands on the right kind of equipment to analyze it and see what's in it, or could find someone who does that, or afford it, you know, that you trust. So you still have Nixon's dog. Mr. Lee says, you did see Sasquatch, Lockbeard. I don't know that, Mr. Lee. I don't know for sure. It's an old faded memory, and I'm not sure what that. I just know it wasn't anything, any animal that should have been there. It was something else. Sandra says, later, my friends, company here. All right, see you later, Sandra. Thanks for coming. Chessboard says the icon, no, he went with Watergate. Nixon's dog did. Uncle Bone says, have a great day to Sandra. Icon says, chessboard, oh, I thought you have the dog because he knows the secrets of Watergate. Randy says, I'm gone too. Take care, everyone. See you around at some point, I'm sure. All right, Brandy, thanks for coming. We'll see you later. Chessboard says to Icon, the new gate is being suppressed by the biatch. Not sure exactly what he's saying there. Icon says the chessboard kibble sanctions should take care of that. Icon says it translates to damn cold for them. Mr. Lee says cold in the night here. Yep. Mank says the craziness of a crazy conspiracy theory and fact is that the future tells you it was true and factual. Well, I mean, I hate to wait to the future to see what's true and what's not, but in the here and now, trying to figure out what's going to happen and what's really going on, you kind of need to find evidence of stuff and not get sucked down rabbit holes that are dead ends because they're just a bunch of nonsense that people are putting on YouTube. Mr. Lee says, Icon, are you are frozen yet? Chessboard says, Icon, this new gate will make Watergate look like a cakewalk if it gets off the ground. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, I have to climb the roof next week to fix it. The backup battery just went dead. Lockbeard, I have to climb the roof next week to fix it. I'm not looking forward to that, dude. Yeah, I mean, hopefully you get some decent weather to do it in. Michael's here. Welcome. He says, hey, Lockbeard. Icon says, close, Mr. Lee. We just got 1/2 inch of freezing rain and sleet currently. Yeah, that was the one thing I was glad not to see because it could have easily been freezing rain, but it was sleet as it hit the ground. So, you get freezing rain, you basically create an ice slick, and it's just if that happens, if it's that bad, I will, because this thing isn't 4-wheel drive. I ain't going nowhere, you know what I mean? Until the ice gets off the road. And out there, they do not clear the roads worth of shit. Like it's too far out. And um, so, yeah. Chessboard says Lockbeard 70s in the eastern shore today and 40s tomorrow. Mr. Lee says Icon just had 4 days of hurricane here. Very strange, bro. Chessboard says to Mr. Lee, did Elton ever land? And he responds with, no, Tom Cruise is coming by later in his spaceship, though. Oh, man. Icon says, Mr. Lee, the water in the Atlantic is pretty warm this year. That may be why. Michael says to Mr. Lee, so now you and Tom are cool? And Mr. Lee says to Icon and Michael, the dude never leaves me alone. I keep saying I'm not into Scientology. Chessboard says to Mr. Lee, I read Elton had jet problems and tried to land in 80-mile-per-hour winds. Donald says, got to run to the store later, folks. We'll see you later, Donald. Thanks for coming. Mr. Lee says the Queen has the beer virus too. Yeah, right. So, yeah. So what else? What else we got going on? Let's see here. See if I can find something interesting to look at. World's in a mess, though. World is in a mess. Mr. Lee says reptilian. The Enlightened Mank says BitChute video have doctor scientists showing the juice supposedly through a microscope. They show different parasites in eggs. The main evil is called Hydra vulgaris. It's an immortal squid parasite. So there was a doctor, like who was it? Because yeah. How do we know it's really, can you find that person at a university somewhere to confirm that he's a real doctor, a real professor or scientist or something? So
Hey everyone, there's some new.
oops. You ain't talking about this timtruth.com, are you, Mank? Donald says, anyone remember the Chris Farley Saturday Night Live skit, I am El Nino? Funny as hell. Chessboard says to Michael, your music to my ears. Mr. Lee says, I I don't know if he's ever said if he thinks so for sure or not. I mean, yeah, I don't know, Mr. Lee. He don't even know I do this channel. I don't think. Yeah, he don't even know. I keep to myself. But I don't know, Mr. Lee. If it comes up, I may talk to him about it. I don't know. Mank says Dr. Carrie Medage is a scientist showing these parasites. He copies the knowledge from her knowledge, I guess. Who is he? Who is this he you're talking about? Light Mank says there is other Germany or Italian men scientists who make the same videos for BitChute. Huh. Man, I don't know. I need to. I just stuff this crazy. I kind of need to see. I need to see myself. You know what I mean? Like I need a sample of the vaccine, and I need to look under a microscope myself, and possibly get some tests done. If I can't do them myself, and see what the hell we're dealing with. He is Tim. Yeah, that's timtruth.com BitChute channel right there on the screen. Mocha Bone says, I told him when I bought that mask. Chessboard says, immortal, no such thing. Mank says, this is one of the videos of the parasites now. That might be interesting.
Video going around social media that's purporting to be Pfizer vaccine at 2000 magnification. Very interesting and concerning footage, in my opinion. Now, I don't know exactly what we're looking at here. I can't verify this footage at all, but I think it's very interesting and begs a lot of questions, and a lot of investigations need to happen at laboratories looking into these vaccines to see what's actually in them. I went to Fiverr and I had this video translated. I'm going to play the full video with the English subtitles, and then I'll play the video again stabilized and zoomed in, also with the English translation at the bottom. But basically what they're saying here is they don't know exactly what they're looking at, but this appears to be some sort of an organism, some sort of a cell with a nucleus in here. They also mention a possibility of Morgellons. They also talk about these little white and black dots that you can see moving around inside of the cell. And there's also something that they call a pipeline, where the little dots will sometimes travel through. And then you can see at the bottom of the shot, when it pans down, it opens up, and I'm not exactly sure what we're looking at all here. If anybody has any information, please email me, timtruth@protonmail.com. Mirror this video wherever you can. Feel free to download it and re-upload it, or just share the link. Let's check this out.
Er gebeuren, alleen wat we zien, dat is mij niet helemaal duidelijk eigenlijk. Maar
Dus dit is de inhoud van een vaccin van groot.
dit is van Pfizer, ja.
En al die bewegende deeltjes, wat is dat
Die
volgens jou?
zitten in een levend wezen,
Ja?
in het vaccin.
Oké, dus wat je ziet is een levend wezen.
Dat is, ja, dit zijn cellen. Hè. De puntje, soms is het puntje wit, soms is het zwart, even afhankelijk van de schetsstelling. Maar dat zijn cellen met een nucleus aan de binnenzijde. Dus of dat nu RNA is wat zijn wegzoekt, dat weet ik niet. Er zijn ook andere filmpjes, daar kijken we meer naar de omgeving buiten dat wezentje. Maar je ziet, het sluit allemaal keurig netjes aan. En zo nu verdwijnt er eentje in een pijplijntje, die gaat naar de andere kant. En wat hij dat doet, weet ik niet. Dus dat is een beetje uitzoeken. Dus we willen dat bij professor Kapel neerleggen, want die is immunoloog en die weet waarschijnlijk meer wat we zien.
beweegt gewoon uit zichzelf.
Dit is een levend wezen wat in het vaccin zit.
Wauw, maar je weet nog niet wat het is.
Nee. Het kan ook zijn dat het een Morgellon is, bij wijze van spreken.
Morgellon, ja.
Het
Ik ben trouwens heel benieuwd wat er gebeurt als je dat vaccin eerst in een magnetron zet.
Maar daar houdt alles op, hè. Dood is dood. Nee, dat moet je niet.
Dat ik dat vaccin neem is goed, dan gaat hij eerst even in de magnetron.
Ja, dan heb je het geen zin. Dan kun je hetzelfde slootwater in je arm doen. Maar die ben in ieder geval niet programmeerbaar.
Heel apart dit. Dus dit is gewoon een organisme
Schot ongestopt. Er gebeuren, alleen wat we zien, dat is mij niet helemaal duidelijk eigenlijk. Maar
Dus dit is de inhoud van een vaccin van groot.
Well, we probably don't want to show his entire video. I guess if people want to, they can go over to that channel on BitChute if their interest is piqued. But, you know, I don't know if they're actually looking at the vaccine as claimed. They could be looking at something else. This could be pond water for all I know. So, you know what I mean? So, I think that to truly satisfy myself, I would need to acquire a sample of the vaccine, and you would think I would already own a microscope, but I do not. See, this is why the channel needs funding. I would go on an entire freaking mission on this if I could afford to do so. You know, if I had the lab and like I'd go to the doctor and say, "Hey, can I get a vaccine?" And I'd run my ass out of there with that vaccine in my hand. You know, and get the hell out. And then I would look at it myself and show you some video of it just like this. I would show you, maybe even have a camera on me when I go in there so you could see the entire incident, and then show you where I put the vaccine on a slide and put it in a microscope, and we'll take a look. And, you know, that'd be far more convincing than them just showing me this. I don't know what they're looking at, just what the video is claiming. So this really doesn't prove squat. You know what I mean? Yeah, Mr. Lee says could be so fake though. Yeah. Yeah. I don't put it past them to put some crazy shit in there. I mean, it could be some kind of organism they're putting in there. They could be purposely infecting people. This could be nanotech. You know what I mean? Could be nanotech for all we know. Mank says parasites are infecting the heart and brain. Parasites make parasite zombies. Maybe. I mean, to some extent, there is precedent in nature where a parasite will make an organism do stuff for the parasite. You know, if you've ever seen like a container of water outside during the warm months of the year, and a grasshopper will come up and get in that water, and a lot of times drown in that water, and then out of the grasshopper comes a horsehair worm, a parasite of grasshoppers, and it makes the grasshopper go to water. Now that could be simply by creating a thirst response, but it still works. Then there's that cordyceps fungus. You know, same thing. Can affect the behavior of organisms. So let's say the government figured this out many decades ago, that there was these organisms that did that, looked for something that was fairly close in humans. They probably are aware of some parasitic organisms, microbial, fungal, maybe even multicellular, some type of worms that affect human behavior, and we're not being told about that, because, you know, people would freak out if they knew that there's probably some parasites of humans that affect your behavior somehow. And you might think, well, why am I anxious? Maybe, why am I cold? Or, why am I, there might, who knows what the effect could be. So the government may be fully aware of some parasites like that and then took them and did some selective breeding and some experimentation and souped them up a little bit to have a more pronounced response, maybe a response that was more useful to them, and then they're putting this crap in this in the jab, possibly. Who knows? I mean, I don't put anything past them. It's just there's no evidence that I know for sure is true of this kind of stuff. Mr. Lee says, Mank, do you rest at night? Must be busy in your brain all day. Mr. Lee says, Chessboard says, number one, who are these entities experimenting like the A-bomb? They have no idea what they create or the consequences. Yeah. You never know the consequences. That's true. You want to be careful what you jack with. The Enlightened Mank says the Stargate SG-1 parasite, the Goa'uld, manipulates the host. Well, they more than just manipulate it. They take full control of it, of the host, the mind of the host. And it was an interesting idea, although I found it a little bit far-fetched, but it made for a cool TV show. But who is to say that there isn't a parasite that can take more control than what the horsehair worm does with a grasshopper? There may be something. People take the cordyceps mushroom to help give them more gumption, make them want to work out, stuff like that. It's kind of strange if you think about it, but I mean, it seems to work. So, man, I don't know about this stuff here, Mank. We've seen a video, but that doesn't prove squat. Like, we shouldn't just run away, just believe in this stuff without some evidence. I mean, I'm not even seeing anybody's face on that video. Like, so we can't even put a face to the person claiming. Yeah, see, there's a number of videos with that same footage. It appears. Oh, look at this one.
Hi, welcome back to Not on the Beeb, and tonight I've got a guest that you might just happen to recognise. Now, everyone's going to wonder, why would you have a guest on twice in a row? And there's a reason behind this, as you'll see to where we're going.
Yeah.
But Dr. T, as everyone's calling you after yesterday's video, for all the people that didn't see it, could you tell us a bit about your career and a bit about your background?
So I went to medical school in the very, very early 90s, and then trained and did
something on the internet. You saw some videos which made you curious. So just start us from the beginning and take your time to tell us.
So I have a teenage child, and they're quite good at finding videos and stuff on the internet. And basically, we ended up watching together a video showing some face masks being looked at. And I think they were called, the person that did the video was calling them nanoworms, but basically these black worms wriggling in masks. And we ended up watching in particular one man who just, there was something about him where I just really felt that whatever this was, he felt genuine to me, that he was genuinely discovering what he was discovering. So I just didn't get any sense of being led astray or someone trying to misinform me. It was quite low quality, the video, but you could see the kind of shock with what he was finding.
Which is, if I could just stop you 1 second there, if we just describe it for the people who don't know what we're talking about, can you just describe precisely what he was finding on what?
Okay, so basically on the ordinary medical or surgical face masks, the single-use face masks, they were basically finding, when you look at those fibers under a microscope of some kind, that there were black, what looked at first to be black fibers, but they weren't, amongst all the white fibers. And they looked still at first, but different people, depending on how they were doing it, from either blowing their warm, wet breath onto the mask, or sometimes from stretching the mask over steamy water or things like this, these then thread-like forms were then moving and appeared very much that they were alive. But these were all quite poor quality videos, and I have to say I've now got some insight into why that happens. It's not the easiest thing, but I don't know, it went straight to my stomach, and I thought, yeah, please can this not be so? And I couldn't ignore it. I couldn't look the other way. And so my son and I together just went, wait a minute, haven't we got tucked away somewhere that really useless, rubbishy microscope that you've got given as a present? And we just got it out.
Just for fun to see if you could replicate what you'd seen on the YouTube video.
I don't know. I guess for me, there was always there wasn't a kind of fun aspect to it. For me, it was, let's hope this isn't the case. Because I don't know, I guess as a medic, I'm already, rather than thinking that's a live squiggly, nanoworm or whatever, I'm thinking differential diagnosis. I'm kind of going through, okay, what different kind of worms could there be? What diseases have I learned about during my career that are caused by worms? So for me, there's a real seriousness right from the beginning. And then I'm thinking, please, can this not be widespread? Maybe this is just a freak thing, a couple of contaminations or something, maybe it got contaminated while it was sitting around in his house, or, so I thought there was something real about it, but I also really hoped that I wasn't going to see anything. And I put the mask under and straight away found lots of them. And then on that first look, one of them did a really massive movement and actually went from being completely sort of a very straightish linear form into sort of curling like that. And it was just no messing. So bigger than any of those movements that we've seen. There was just no mistaking it. There's no electrostatic or sudden breeze of air or something that could just have done that movement. And I'm not going to repeat what was said around the house actually at that point, because actually it involved a lot of very, very deep and horrifying emotions, really. And we both kept looking together and kept swearing a lot, if we're honest. And yeah, just couldn't take it on board, really.
Right, at this point, let me just jump in to show, because I've cut together some of the videos, because just to give my background, I'd seen the videos as well, and I'd taken a bit more of a superficial look at it. I just pulled up a mask. I couldn't see anything. I tried using some different alcohols on, which people have shown, but I couldn't actually see anything moving. It was always, for me, was like, is this like an internet hoax? So for one of the ones I remember with mobile phones was people putting mobile phones and then with popcorn, and it looked like the popcorn was bursting. So I've seen those, and it's like, well, is this a hoax? Is this just a conspiracy theory or something? So I was very much 50-50, which is why I was absolutely fascinated when we made contact to hear that you'd taken it a step further to find things out yourself. But just to show, for all the people who've not seen what we're talking about, these black fibres within blue face masks, the surgical masks, let's just have a look at this little video, this little compilation of ones I just pulled off the internet, and members of Not on the Beat managed to send me the other day. So thanks to everybody who sent me these to make the compilation from. Let's have a look. So there we go. I mean, that they look like worms to me. They've got the movement of worms.
If that's real, that's very strange. That's alarming. Mank says, they did find that Stargate for real. Come on, man. See, you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Going down the weird. See, anytime any kind of movie comes out, somebody becomes a super hardcore fan to the point that they want it to be real, and then they start putting shit on the internet to try and paint a picture that it's real. They're fooled themselves. Occasionally, you might have someone who's also just trying to mess with people, but a lot of these people, they want it to be real so badly that they will come up with any kind of confirmation bias to any kind of evidence that'll seem to prove that it's real. Show some actual evidence of that instead of somebody making a claim. You gotta be careful with this stuff. People make claims. I mean, now there was some pretty compelling video here, but again, even if there were worms on those masks, maybe it's just some kind of known species that its eggs are dispersed by air, and the egg landed on the mask, and it's just happen to be a feasible place for that particular worm to grow. It seems unlikely, but it's still something to consider. And so we gotta be careful not to go to get lost down the rabbit hole. Icon says chessboard CP1 went controlled critical under Stag Field in Chicago. They had no idea what would happen. Chessboard says to Icon, I have no idea what will happen. Let me put this in there. It's on an eyedropper full. Kaboom. Mr. Lee seems alarmed by that video. The Enlightened Mank says nanotech worms. Yeah, I need to see something more though before we can start saying anything. It could be a biological worm, but I don't think nanotech is too far out of the. It's not out of the realm of possibility, sure, but I don't know how far they've advanced this technology. I know they're using it to some extent, but Mank says the worms are on the swabs. Mr. Lee's like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, it's pretty alarming video if it's real. Mank says there is an article of the finding of the Stargate. Haha, you and who believe space is real? Where's that article at? I mean, is it just like a ring? I mean, you're saying it like there's a Stargate found that's going to create a wormhole to another planet, or is it just a stone structure of some kind that happens to be circular? Doesn't mean it's a Stargate like in the show. It's just a freaking rock. Mink says a dude microwaved a blue mask and they grown bigger to show they react to microwave energies. Mitch Lee says, Mank, you do freak me out, you Manchester man. Chessboard says, Lockbeard uranium PU-36 explosive space modulator. I didn't hear a kaboom. Was it real? Well, I don't know. What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're going on about there. Mank says the microwave was sparking because of the mask worms. Huh. Mank says it was metal, the Stargate. I watched it on a video showing an article of it, like a newspaper article. Did it look like the Stargate from the movie and the TV show? Chessford says Marvin the Martian, he was real. Oh, you're referring to that was a Marvin the Martian reference. Gotcha. I see, Chessboard. I see. Mank, my first thought would be that what you saw was people taking footage of the Stargate prop from the show or the movies, and then trying to paint it, as if it was a real article, but it was all probably fake. Where is this article you're talking about? I'm somebody probably just pulled a fast one on you on that Stargate stuff. So I don't know. I imagine everyone here can go get some masks and look at them under magnification and see what happens. Put them in a microwave. You might want, because you have that metal piece in the nose. You probably want to make sure you cut that out. Mank says the people was Arabian. Haha. Yeah, well, so were people in the movie, man. You think someone that looked Arabian, or a bunch of people that were Arabian. I mean, it could be some cut footage from the movie or the TV show, for all you know. Mr. Lee says I'm going to do that. Lockbeard. Yeah. I mean, if that crap is real, man, so many of us have been forced to wear a mask in order to go into this place or that. Already been exposed. So, probably all screwed already. So I'm going to wrap her up. Thank you all for coming. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We gotta fight back hard against YouTube. You know, their censorship bullshit. We gotta fight back hard. So keep grounded and keep free. See you next time.